Tributes continue to pour in for the former Deputy President of South Africa, David Mabuza. He died in a Johannesburg hospital yesterday after a prolonged illness. He was 64 years old. Mabuza served as Deputy President from February 2018 to February 2023. He was the Deputy President of the ANC from December 2017 to December 2022 and was the Premier of Mpumalanga from 2009 to 2018. We are continuing to get reaction to the news of his passing, and in a moment we're going to be joined by ANC veteran and former Premier of Mpumalanga, Mathews Phosa. Of course, there's a deep history between the two of them, and we certainly are going to chat to the Minister, I beg your pardon, Mathews Phosa, who was the Premier of Mpumalanga before our Deputy President, late Deputy President David Mabuza took over. Here's just a bit of a timeline as we get Mathews Phosa up once again on that line. So as you see, he was the former Deputy President, born in Mpumalanga on the 25th of August, 1960. He was first sworn in as Deputy President on the 27th of February 2018. He was also the Premier of Mpumalanga for one of the longest times, 2009 to 2018. And then in March 23, Mabuza announced his resignation. And then the 3rd of July, former Deputy President David Mabuza passed away. So that's just a very quick, brief history of South Africa's late former President David Mabuza. Mathews Phosa is now on the line, and we're just going to get some reaction from him. It's so good to have you giving us your reaction to the passing. What is your immediate reaction to this?
Well, I was shocked and saddened by the bad news. But before I got even deeper there, I thought about his wife and children and family and relatives to whom I send my condolences from myself and my family. And I thought about where we started, me and Didi. He was a youngster from at the training college called Mpumalanga in outside Nelspruit. And then I was an underground operator of the ANC, political and military activities. And we were asked to form cells, political and military cells, in secondary schools and training colleges to politicize the young people who are going to become teachers and they're going to university. And we formed many cells at Mpumalanga, and one of them, Mabuza, belonged to that one, which was led by a guy called, he's late now, Sipho Sugati and Sadi Sugati and Martin Mkunu. And fast forward, when I left for exile, I left them in that cell, and it was protected the continuity of their political work like other cells of the ANC.
Yeah.
When I came back, fast forward, we have elections, and then there's a debate in Mpumalanga where I was asked to be Premier. President Mandela asked me to be the first Premier there. And as to who should be the Minister of Education, is it Ventford or was it Mabuza? The teacher structures were arguing, and the news, I think, one day and convinced us that there should be David Mabuza. So they asked Jack Mutupana to go and fetch him at the school where he was a mere teacher. He came, and driving a white van, and he came into the office. He said, when I told him, you're going to be the first MEC of Education in this province, he said, Premier, I don't know what it means to be an MEC. I said, Committee, none of us knows what it means to be MEC or a Premier. We're going to have to look at the Constitution and learn and do the job that it needs to be done for the people. So we agreed. He acquitted himself very well as MEC of Education. I think he did well. He reached every corner of the province. I mean, we had a province which was made up of former Kwandebele, Kangwane, part of Mufutatuana and Kasankulu. We brought this under one department, even in terms of education. Of course, I then served my first term and left. And Didi later, after many years, he followed Comrade Ndaweni Mahlangu and Tabang Makweta became Premier. I think he did very well. He built more schools in the province. And I think we, together as a collective, when I was Premier, we built the new airport of Mpumalanga. We expanded the N4. We built new parliamentary offices and government offices. We built new malls and stimulated economic growth in the province. If you look at Nelspruit today, it's booming. It's because of the first kids we put together there. We work as a collective. I didn't work as an individual. Fast forward, it became the deputy president of the country. Little did I realize this Mathews Phosa. When I recruited this little small boy into the ANC cell, I was recruiting the future deputy president. And I was proud that he became deputy president of the country, and he served.
Yeah.
He served until he thought it's time to go. He didn't hang in there and fight for space. And he was a very humble deputy president who respected his president and stuck to his lane and served as best he could, you know.
Yeah, it's wonderful to hear you speak about him like this, because I know that the two of you did have a bit of a turbulent history, and I'm sure in the days to come we'll unpack that more and speak about that more. But the one thing that has stood out from what people have been saying about his leadership skills is that he was a master politician. He knew how to get around things, and I suppose he self-named himself the cat, and I think that was his leadership style. He would slink around and seem to always come out on top.
David Mabuza spoke at my late daughter's memorial service, and he said, and I quote him, you can check, I asked to speak at this memorial service because I want to clear the air. I have no differences with Comrade Mathews Phosa. He's my father. I am what I am today because of him. So let's not leave the public hanging with some little stories.
Yeah. Well, it is certainly good to hear that from you. But if I may, as I wrap up with you, because I know we got another response coming through to the reaction, may I ask you what you believe is the legacy that he's going to leave behind?
What did you say?
The legacy that you believe he will leave behind.
The legacy he leaves, and people don't realize it very well, because at the national level, it's such a big ocean. That one he lived in Mpumalanga, it's a number of new schools which under him they were built. And I'm proud of that track record which he left there of education. I believe that the best legacy for anyone to leave as you go to your grave is education, is knowledge.
Well, we'll leave it there. Mathews Phosa talking to us about his immediate reaction to the passing of former Deputy President David Mabuza.